welcome back to the Unbeatable Energy channel. I am Steve Rivers, and in this video I am going to be looking at one of my favourite rhythms, grooves. It's a rhythm called Musolu. I thought I would look at some, I suppose I'd call them unusual groove patterns. Ones which I probably wouldn't call classics. They're like where there's a djembe pattern where it seems very, very specific and individual to this rhythm arrangement, and Musolu is definitely one of them. The pattern that I'm going to show you on the djembe, I haven't seen in anything before. Now this rhythm was taught to me by the amazing Babara Bangoura. If you've ever seen Babara Bangoura in action, he does some amazing kind of drumming acrobatics with his hands, the sort of a miming thing as he plays his solo. And Babara Bangoura, he ran a workshop at the ABC camp, which was sort of a drumming workshop. This was back in, I think it was 2015. So yeah, about 10 years ago when he taught this, and it's stayed with me ever since. It had a really beautiful song that went with it. But what I really loved about it was the dunduns, and there was a beautiful tension I found between the dundun patterns and the djembe pattern. So a couple of other things just to first of all share with you. This is not a beginner's video. Beginners, by all means, you can join in, you can have a go. Why not? Okay, why not have a little bit of a challenge? But it isn't designed specifically for someone who's a first timer. You need to have some understanding of tone and slap, and to be honest, some of the videos that I've done before will actually help you towards this. So just to bear that in mind, I'm also going to be playing the dundun pattern. I'm not going to get into the technique of dundun. This is pretty much, showing the patterns for people who are already familiar with dunduns. And then a little bit later on, I'm going to do a little bit of, let's call it, multitasking gymnastics, where I'm going to play the djembe part that I'm going to show you today, but I'm going to sing the dundun part. Now, bear with me, I haven't got high-tech equipment, as you probably know. So in that video, what I'm going to be doing is actually muffling up my djembe so you can hear me singing, just so you get some sense of the relationship between the dundun and the djembe. One day, when I have the time, when I have people to help me, because I'm not very IT savvy, and I get really, really good with some of the audios and stuff, I will be able to get the stage where I can properly do multi-tracks, but I'm not there yet, guys. I'm really, really itching to show this. So that's what you've got to look forward to in this video. So first of all, let me just think, have I forgotten anything? I don't think I've forgotten anything. So let's go into Musolu, the Musolu pattern. There you go. Now if you're wondering why my drum sounds a little bit weird, well, it's because I have a lumberjack shirt inside it. Hey! Classic mistake I've made many times. I think I did a whole video once with one of these inside. Let me put this out of the way. I don't know, maybe it helps, but it does mute the bass quite a bit. So here's it with my lumberjack removed. Go. Now, believe it or not, I teach children this rhythm. I teach children from the age of, I think I've even taught children this rhythm from the age of 7. I don't do it all in that. To be honest, this rhythm, I love it so much. I've actually played it quite a lot. I've taught it to quite a lot of people. And obviously because I've got to adapt rhythms to people at their early stages, I've done skeleton versions of this, and Silly word alert, everyone. Yes, I have got silly words for this. How are you going to engage some children who are not from Africa? Well, they won't be familiar with that. Well, Neil is going to say not from Africa. There are lots of children these days I'm teaching who are from Africa. They're just not from the place where this rhythm evolved. And I could do phonetics, but it's not going to engage the children. I need to have something catchy that they can learn. So I apologise to the die-hard authentics around there, but I'm going to give you the silly words. Okay, so I basically think of it like this. I think of it as, have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Have you ever seen such a super drumming team? Catchy, isn't it? Bit of rhyme there. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Yeah. Okay, so have you ever seen such a super drumming team? And then I show them like this. I kind of neutralize it. And actually, it's what I do for beginners. So, because there are a lot of tones and slaps incorporated in this. So, a quick one for the beginners to access at least the feeling of this. You could be like this. You could go. So can you see what I've done there? So basically, I am playing all just like the first, it's a rhythm sort of in two halves, isn't it? So the first half of it, I'm just playing them all mutually as tones, and then I'm going into the middle and doing the bass in the middle. There's 5 beats here. Obviously, there's this very important gap between the first and the second, this like that. And all these, they're all the same. Ba 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 ba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Such a super drumming team. With this rhythm here, what I've also done when I've taught this to children is I almost imagine it like a seesaw. So that, you know, like in a circus, you've got this, like the seesaw, and you've got someone jumping down from a trapeze, and someone's on the other side of the seesaw, and they come down, it springs the other person up. So I almost imagine these as the seesaw people. And I lift up my hand, and I go like that. You see that? So it's like, wing, and come up there. That's set up to go into there, which is a sort of like a mana. Sorry, I won't go as far as that. That's a bit too cheesy, isn't it? Okay, so we got and again. Have you ever seen? And then all these in the middle, no gap, they're all just a nice little shuffle. Let's do it again. So, the next bit, let's talk about the slaps and the tones. So, when you get comfortable with the coordination there, or if you want to skip straight to this, let's just slow it down. So you have basically this, like that. Slap, 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 tone, tone. Right, left, right, left, right. All right? And that's consistent with the underlying grace notes underneath. Let's do it again. And again. Let's do it again. And again. Right. The next half of it, you've got, that's a bit of acrobatics there, isn't it? So basically, I'm starting to remember, right? Remember all that was all neutral before, all bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the coordination, the arms are all the same, but we've got to incorporate the slap. So we've got like that. We've got slap, bass, bass, slap, slap, tone, tone at the end. So let's do that a few times really slowly. And also, by the way, with the bass, let's not go right into the middle. Let's just sort of think of it more mid-range around here. Like that. Just slightly easier with all that acrobats. And again. And again. One last time. Right. Okay, so slap, bass, bass, slap, slap, tone, tone. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Again, it's one of those things where we need to get assertive with that left hand. The two together, really slow. You got that? Right. Now I'm going to put in the jingles for a pulse. This might jog the camera, but I know you're tolerant. Right? Up tempo a bit. Let's try it. Right, now, that's the djembe pattern. But the beautiful thing with this pattern, I don't feel like I can really share this pattern unless we also share the dundun. Now, like a lot of dundun patterns, quite a lot, they are very syncopated. I love the way in sort of like Europe and America with the big, big drum, it seems to be all about keeping the beat. Unless you get into really progressive rock, okay. But the dunduns, particularly the dundun ba, and to an extent the samba, I mean, yeah, all of them, kensenedi as well. They're often playing really, really syncopated, and in Musolu is particularly syncopated. So there is this beautiful tension because this rhythm is very much going on the pulse. But the dunduns, they're off the pulse, and you have this beautiful interplay between the two. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to fade out and come back again with my dundun set up so I can show you the pattern. And then the final bit is a bit of my multitasking acrobatics. So, see you in a minute. Okay everybody, I am back and I've got some dunduns here. Yes, I am using a pencil. A metal rod is absolutely going to kill this recording, which is, to be honest, on my iPhone. So I'm using a pencil, it's a little bit softer. So basically, for the dundun players, I'm going to call this the sangbar, I'm going to call this the dunun bar. In actual fact, that's a large kenkani. And that's a sangbar, but it's all relative. So consider that the dunun bar and consider this the sangbar. So let's have a look at the sangbar first of all. So basically what you've got is this. You've got So that is really, really, really nice. It is beautiful when it comes in with the djembe there. And basically, it's that sort of part of it kind of goes, this bit, that bit there, that bit, that sort of jerky, there, is really, really nice. The dunun bar is going like this, it goes. Let's be honest with the bell, sometimes like in that space where you haven't got the dundun, you've got the bell, I might just keep it straight. Sometimes I might have a da 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 da. I tend to sort of switch between the two. So the next thing now is to sort of hear what that kind of the melody of the dunun bar and the sangbar sound like together. So obviously I'm going to taking out the mute, but you sort of hear this. So now there's also some beautiful melodies which are going on with the kenkanis. There's two kenkanis. There's a sort of a higher and there's a lower kenkani. And I think if I remember, the one I really like is this one, kind of goes. Like that. And the other one's kind of going. So the combination of the two is this. There you are. They really, really enhance it, but the one I'm really sort of focusing on here is that sort of relationship you've got between the dundun bar and the sangbar. And I have got some words for this as well. So for the dundun bar, I kind of go. So I call that the sun is out. The sun is coming out. The sun is out. The sun is coming out. The sun is out. The sun is coming out. The sun is out. The sun is coming out. The sun is out. The sun is coming out. But the same on its own, well, I don't really have one. I just simply kind of go. So there'll be the closed. Gung gung gung. There'll be the open. Gung 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 gung. Gung 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 gung. So I think I'm going to leave it there. So that is what's going on with the dunduns. The next bit is a bit of the acrobatics, where I'm going to muffle up my djembe so that you can hear the djembe, and you can hear, hopefully you can hear me singing the melody of this dundun with the djembe, so you just get that sense of the relationship together. And I will see you soon. So everybody, I hope you've enjoyed Musolu, showing the motif pattern for the Musolu rhythm, a bit of the dunduns and a little bit of my acrobatics. So hopefully perhaps at the end with the muffled drum you can hear that Musolu djembe pattern with me singing the melodies of the dunduns over the top. Hope that was useful. The other thing I forgot to mention is I have done a rhythm called, it's a sort of a djembe classic pattern called, and I call it the Beautiful Symmetry. And that is in my classic djembe accompaniment series playlist, and I think it's number 2. So if you have a look at that as well, that also is one of the rhythms that was part of the djembe accompaniments, along with djembe popular passport rhythm. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have really got something out of this video, if you enjoyed it, please like this video and share a comment, tell me your thoughts and how you got on with it. And if you haven't done so already, do subscribe to my channel, because there are lots of things I have coming up every week. And if you are feeling in a generous mood, I also have a couple of links. One is the Buy Me a Coffee link, where you can give me a donation so that I can develop these rhythms further. There is also the super thanks button, the love heart with the $sign in it. You can also make a donation through there. So for now, guys, I will say goodbye to you all. See you next time.